Well, it's Monday, the 23rd day in the month of March 2020. Thank you very much for joining us this morning on the platform. This is the pinnacle of all discussions right here on Flow 94.9 FM. It is the flow of God's own state. Well, the platform comes up on radio every Monday, every Wednesday, and also every Friday right here on Flow 94.9 FM. You can also catch our episodes on YouTube page. It's Flow FM TV on YouTube. Welcome. My name is Michael Oni. Now, this morning we're taking a look at the impact of COVID-19, talking about coronavirus on our economy, as the federal government and the Nigeria Center for Disease Control just confirmed 5 more cases of this particular virus, and now we have 35 cases of coronavirus to deal with in Nigeria. 1 case in Edo State, and NCDC says 2 cases are returning travelers from the UK, and we have 5 more cases, bringing the number of cases of coronavirus in Nigeria. They're talking about persons infected with the virus in Nigeria to 35. We will bring you up to speed on what is happening as far as that is concerned. But I need to let you know that this virus is real. Once again, coronavirus is real. I hope you're still staying safe, as one can't be too careful. You should adhere to preventive measures such as hand washing, use of your sanitizers, alcohol-based sanitizers, avoid handshakes, and some of the sensitization, talking about the preventive measures we've been rolling out on this platform, Flow 94.9 FM. 5 new cases confirmed this morning. 2 of the cases are in Lagos. 2 of the cases are in Abuja, 2 in Lagos, and 1 in Edo State, bringing the number of cases confirmed in Nigeria to 35. But we will be talking about the economic impact of this COVID-19 in Nigeria this morning. We're also going to be taking a look at how Lagosians, talking about people in Lagos, are taking the news of this coronavirus, because as it stands now, Lagos State is the mostly hit state in Nigeria. So we have a journalist who works with Dark Communications, talking about AIT in Lagos, who will be joining me this morning on the program to give us a feel of what is on ground there in Lagos. Also talking about the economic impact of COVID-19 as it hits Nigeria's trade and supply chain. Of course, Sam Ekwiribe will be doing justice to that this morning on the platform on Flow 94.9 FM. So it's a full package. Get on board and let's dissect some of the issues so that you can make the right decisions on as far as this COVID-19 is concerned, with many parts of the world exploring a lockdown to contain the coronavirus pandemic. The rising cost of the outbreak for businesses and the global economy is coming closer home, as the organized private sectors are exploring measures to reduce the impact of this global crisis, which might likely have on the struggling local economy. Let me get across to Tochukwu Ilodigwe. That's he works with AIT, that's in Lagos. He's in Alausa there, to have a feel of what Lagosians are facing as far as COVID-19 is concerned. Thankfully, we're yet to have a case in the southeastern part of the country, talking about southeast, but a recent one now is the closest one. I mean, the closest state is the one that has just been confirmed in Edo State, talking about 1 confirmed case this morning, according to NCDC. We have Tochukwu joining us this morning all the way from Lagos. Good morning to you.
Good morning, my brother. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thank you very much for joining us this morning on the platform.
How is Umahia this morning?
Well,
how is Umahia this morning?
Umahia is fine, and of course, we're hoping that the government will be able to curtail the spread of the coronavirus. We're yet to have a case in the southeastern part of the country. So we want to have a feel of what Lagosians think about the COVID-19. As it stands now, Lagos is the most hit state as far as COVID-19 is concerned. Just this morning, 2 new cases just confirmed a couple of minutes ago, bringing the number of cases in Lagos to 21 and bringing the number of cases in Nigeria to 35. So, how are they feeling? How are they coping? How did they receive the news of this pandemic?
Well, you see, Lagos is to a very large extent used to things of this nature. You recall the time of Ebola. I mean, Lagos is always the first port of call.
Yes.
So you would normally see that fear, panic. People are buying things quickly because the state government is really taking it biting hard, shutting down churches, shutting down mosques, now also trying to shut down economic activities. You know, buses have been directed to have hand sanitizers, and there are possibilities that the private sector might be affected. Just this morning, the state has issued a release directing that all construction sites must not have more than 20 persons at a time in a day. You know, so you can understand that it will always lead to panic buying and fear, and also people get swayed by this. I call it ravaging effect of fake news.
Okay.
For instance, we have a family admitted because so they heard that perhaps chloroquine has the capacity to deal with coronavirus. The man has been feeding the whole family with chloroquine morning, afternoon, night. And I mean, they are all down now, all hospitalized. So you can see the negative effect of fake news also taking its toll.
Interesting. What about taking into cognizance the social distancing has been announced by the federal government and also the NCDC, talking about Nigeria Center for Disease Control. We understand that there is a ban right now in Lagos on social gathering, the clubs, and of course churches. And many of those churches were filled up as of yesterday, according to our findings. So what about that?
If you say many, you might be wrong.
Okay.
If you say some, that might be more appropriate.
Okay.
We still observed a number of personally I monitored. So there are a number of churches. For instance, the Catholic Church, to a very large extent, complied with the directives, and many other churches also did so. So it might be erroneous to say many churches. But the point remains that, I mean, a state like Lagos, where Owambe is very famous,
yes.
I mean, this is the people's way of life. It's a culture that have lasted for years. People dodging it might be big. Remember that people have planned wedding before now. People have planned engagements. People have planned birthday parties and all of that. It is not easy to to tell people don't come out to participate in some of this social gathering. But I think to a very large extent, there's let me use the word, a good compliance level.
All right.
When it comes to social gathering. But where much emphasis and enlightenment should come is the area of I think social distancing, because at least you needed a few meters away from each other to be sure you're safe. But I don't see that happen around here.
Now, another issue is the issue of victimization, probably suspected cases. You know, Lagosians can be very funny if you see someone sneezing or someone coughing near you. The way the person, the neighbor will move away. That's another issue. But what about that?
Well, the popular saying says prevention is always better than cure. So one wouldn't blame anybody who wants to run away from anyone sneezing or coughing. I mean, it is better take precautionary measures and be called any name than catch the virus and be down. So one wouldn't want to blame anybody, but it's not as rampant as people might imagine. Remember, you still have the dampos taking people from one point to another, and then if somebody sneezes in the dampo bus, are you going to walk the person out of a moving vehicle? So it's not as rampant as people say, but I'll personally advocate that people should be very, very sensitive on a red alert to ensure that if anybody coughs around you, keep your distance, wash your hands, and all of that. But I must also give it to the government. They are on top of sensitization, doing everything they can to drive the message down. Because the truth is, we are anticipating much more number of people have this virus in Lagos than what we are having now. But you know the attitude of an average Nigerian.
Yes.
You easily buy paracetamol, buy one malaria drug or the other.
Self-medication.
To a very large extent, the symptoms somehow is very, very close to what you get when you have common cold and all of that, until it drags further and it becomes complicated. So we are anticipating that perhaps, because our culture as Africans, we're always having a communal lifestyle. When one person catches it, the likelihood that it spreads fast is there.
All right. We want to also know the level of compliance of the sit-at-home order given by the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu. The level of compliance, what is it like?
You know, the sit-at-home order is for level 1 to 12 of state government workforce.
All right.
And that's about 78% of the state government's workforce has been ordered. I mean, an average civil servant really would ordinarily want to stay at home. So the compliance is high. People are at home, I mean, coming out to get to work today. You see that many of the streets are empty. Major roads that ordinarily by this time are flooded with vehicles are empty. So that tells you that there is a high level of compliance. And even many businesses are taking cue. You see many of the directors advising workforce either scale down, let the essential staff be on ground, but aside them, let every other person too. So people are, because nobody really wants to. Can imagine when you have a staff strength of 50 people, and then one person comes in and infects 25. I mean, your job gets paralyzed. So many people are taking precaution away from what the government has said.
Interesting. All right, Tochukwu Ilodigwe. I hope I'm correct with your name.
It's just that you're funkifying the Tochukwu. It is called Tochukwu.
Okay, Tochukwu.
Yes.
Tochukwu Ilodigwe.
That's just a lighter note.
Interesting. Thank you very much for speaking to us this
You're
morning. We do appreciate it, and we will get back to your event unfolds there in Lagos.
You're always welcome.
Oh, thank you very much. Well, Tochukwu works with AIT, and he's based in Lagos. Of course, you have a feel of what is happening in Lagos as far as COVID-19, the novel coronavirus, is concerned. The number of confirmed cases of the novel coronavirus in Nigeria has risen to 35 as of 9:45 a.m. today, 23rd of March 2020. The figure rose after the Nigeria Center for Disease Control announced on Monday, that's today, that 5 new cases had been confirmed. Now, a breakdown of the figure shows that 2 cases were confirmed in the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, and 2 cases also in Lagos, while 1 case was confirmed in Edo State. And I can tell you that the son of the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, has been confirmed to be a carrier of coronavirus and of course has been quarantined. So we will bring you up to speed on that also. It is still the platform right here. Let's get the economic impact of this novel coronavirus. This morning, trying to get across to Sam Ekwiribe. He will analyze and give us the economic impact of this coronavirus, its impact in Nigeria's economy. For manufacturers and other allied businesses, the disruption in supply chain is already taking a toll on raw materials needed for production. And already the price of crude oil, which is the mainstay of Nigeria's economy, is trading below federal government's benchmark for this year's budget, even as the government explores several options to hedge the effect. Similarly, Nigeria's latest excess crude account balance, according to a statement from the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation was put at $71.81 million, while the movement in reserves showed that the country's reserves stood at $35.94 billion at the weekend, down by $2.59 billion from $38.53 billion in which it opened the year. Well, Sam, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Mike.
Yes, good to have you join us this morning. We're in the middle of a pandemic, a worldwide pandemic. As it stands now, we have 35 cases, 5 more cases confirmed this morning by the NCDC. Well, it's a whole lot for Nigeria. We're battling with our economy just before this unfortunate incident. We want you to analyze its impact on our economy. Sam.
Okay, thank you, Mike. This whole COVID-19 is a solid scenario, and hope we come out from the hurry. And one key thing that we have reviewed is beyond the health impact in Nigeria and even across the world, the worst thing that is happening is the economic impact. If you follow the trend of the virus, that it moves across along the economic around the world. And in Nigeria, you will also notice it has gone to Abuja, and this economic hike. The shipping industry is greatly affected, and also the airline.
All right.
But even beyond the analysis I want to do, I want to even look at the economic impact on everyday Nigeria.
All right, I will like that. So we break it down. We break it down for the common man on the streets to understand that the impact is so real, and we should prepare for hard time. All right.
Yes. Let me tell you, 4 days ago, the federal account allocation for this all a in Nigeria commissioners of finance.
Well, we have issues with the network there, and we will try and connect back to Sam Ekwiribe as he analyzes the impact of COVID-19 on our economy, talking about Nigeria's economy. Nigeria has been hit 35 cases as confirmed this morning. It is the platform right here on Flow 94.9 FM, the flow of God's own state. Yes, Sam. Yes, welcome back.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
All right.
So, as I was saying, the Federal Account Allocation Committee gathered in Abuja for revenue sharing for February 2020. And one key thing is that the revenue mentioned was so small that they disagreed and they could not agree. And so the meeting went off and nothing was resolved. They said, okay, we are leaving this for the National Economic Committee, which is the governors and the president. And so oil is down, revenue to Nigeria is down. And if, for example, Abia State went to allocation last month and got 5 billion, and they go this month and get 2.5 billion, what it means is that its workers may not be able to be paid. Either workers are going to be take a cut, or they won't be paid at all. All around the world, we are hearing Ronaldo, all these players, they are taking pay cuts. It's going to trickle down to us individually right where we are. And if we look at our market, patronage is getting lower. Our inputs, where we are getting, if anybody in the market will notice that from January till now, a lot of things, there's no market. I am in Aba, and people are saying there's no market, no market. The simple thing is that we are an important economy. All things is no longer exporting to us, and we are no longer importing. Very soon, the things we are buying will start drying up. In United Kingdom right now, they are rationing things like milk in supermarkets. If you go to supermarket, they say you can't buy more than 2 tins of milk. Allow others to buy. You can't buy more than 1 pack of tissue. That is happening here, but finally get here. And look at it that any economies in Spain, if you step outside, you pay 600 euro fine. In Italy, 188 euro. Now, if you ask a typical Nigerian, stay indoors for the next 1 month, how much savings do you have? How many more days can you afford to stay indoors without working, without doing anything, before hunger will chase someone out to go and meet coronavirus? This is why this impact on the families is going to be huge. Our government has tried, central bank has said we will give them 50 billion naira in loans to households, and I don't know how much that can do to improve to ameliorate the hardship and suffering Nigerians will suffer. Fuel price has been reduced by 20 naira only, when the crude oil reduced by more than 50%. Well, those are the things which, for government to be doing this without us asking, that tells you they are seeing something we are not seeing already. So I urge everybody to brace up, tighten. We are not saying this to make people afraid, but I think people should be prepared. This is not time to make investment.
Now you're advising people to be prepared now. How can we prepare for the Harmattan, according to Mr. President, that is coming?
Okay, so preparing for the Harmattan is whatever cash is king. Whatever else you want to make now, you need to think twice. This is not the time to go buy Weavon or wig or something to spend on things that are not primary needs. If you have extra money, get a bag of rice, something that is get something meaningful at least. When you secure, you pursue hunger away, we can talk about other things. And this is a time to be prudent in spending. If you are a worker, if already we sold crude oil $60 in February, we're expecting better allowance. So if we are getting less income, how much more now when next month and the next 2 months when income will plummet? Only God knows how much they are going to declare at federal level. So let everybody act as if there won't be salary next month, next 2 months, next 3 months. Whatever you have, conserve it as much as possible.
Interesting. Now, to the common man on the street, I mean, those that do not depend on a salary, monthly salary, what is your advice for them?
Okay, so if there are two things. If you don't depend on salary, you are an entrepreneur. At least you work, and so very sharply. Even for entrepreneurs and small businesses, it's even a worst case scenario because down here last year, a lot of the things, Abia is a trade hub, is a trade route, a lot of these informal sector trading. And if you look at it critically, most of the trading goes to neighboring African countries. They find a way to trickle from the border to Cameroon, and all the things you see they sell in Harare and produce in Aba move across the border. But when the border was crossed, people are already tightening their belts to hold on. And now, people have been selling and nothing is coming. So many of these traders and small businesses do not understand what is happening. They think, generally, economy is bad. But if the economy is bad now, it's going to go into recession. There has been, I think it's the World Bank that says prices of things could go up as much as 75%. As much as 75%. So the little things you are buying today, by the time notice that the dollar has increased 420 and now it has stabilized at 380. So businesses, if you are importing, this is not a time to pay money to import anything. Cool down and do this. And also for our traders out there, they will complain. You know, it's a chain effect. When salary people collect money, they buy from people, they buy more things from Mada on the street and all that. So Mada that is noticing this should also find a way to try to turn her own thing. Don't spend too much. Little gain you are making today, conserve it. Let's hope things get better. In the United States, they have announced, I think, 330 billion palliative, where every household will get $1,000. And in Kenya, just an African country here, the government says no rent, nobody should pay rent for the next 3 months. These are things our government can do to help alleviate this thing for us. We were already in a bad situation, and things are already going to get worse. I really can't sit here and say these are all the solutions. But going forward, we'll be exploring those options.
All right, Sam Ekuribe, thank you very much for your analysis this morning on the platform. It looks like, I'm getting scared myself, but I believe we will scale through this difficult situation coming very soon because of the economic impact of COVID-19.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Sam Ekuribe is an economic rights advocate and executive director of Path to Growth Entrepreneurship Center, an NGO that supports SMEs in Abia. And also, you heard from Tochukwu Ilodigwe. He covers the government house in Alausa there in Lagos. Now, I want to hear from you. What do you think? What do you make of everything? With you now, you know it is real. For some persons that are saying it is not real, we have 35 cases, although just 33 active cases, and the total number of discharged is 2. I mean, just 2 persons. And over the weekend, the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar says his son has tested positive for coronavirus. He disclosed that in a tweet on his verified Twitter handle on Sunday night. He did not mention the name of which of his sons was infected, but revealed that the Nigeria Center for Disease Control has been duly informed about the situation, and that his son had been moved to Gwagwalada Specialist Hospital in Abuja for treatment. So, what do you make of what is happening right now? And how do you intend to, what are your preparations for the, Hamatan, we'll put it that way, coming soon? 0808 182 6949 0811 605 2949. You can also drop messages on 0906 510 8289. It is the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions, right here on Flow 94.9 FM. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Mike.
You're welcome.
Yes, this is Godson.
Welcome, Godson.
Concerning the current COVID-19.
I lost that call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Michael.
Yes, good morning.
Michael, good morning.
Good morning.
You're speaking with Wakwechi Deber.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Michael, it's no longer a news that coronavirus is in the country. We're only trying to look for measures to reduce the spread. I understand that Rivers State Governor has given an order that every 18-seater buses should not be carrying more than 10 now. Do you understand me?
Okay.
I equally expect other state governors, including my state, to do the same. This coronavirus issue is not a poor man's sickness, neither is it a big man's sickness. It knows no ban. So therefore, we should act speedily as regards to this. Now, my question is this. There are some certain countries today that have given aid to their citizens. The only thing President Muhammadu Buhari was able to tell us the other day is COVID-19, this, that, and all the rest of them. I said it earlier before now. He should learn from Goodluck Jonathan. If this man had adhered to the instructions and to the plea of Nigerians, these particular rise cases of coronavirus here and there wouldn't have been. Shut down the borders. Those countries that have been infected, shut them down earlier beforehand. They said no problem. Now they are looking for a way to handle it. I know that God will guide each and every one of us. That is more reason why I want to appreciate Governor Kezi Bazo for having addressed Abians last week and assuring us that nothing will happen.
All right. Yes, thank you very much, Wakwechi Debere. Your time is up. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. This is
can you speak up, please? All right, we lost that. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yeah. This is my contribution concerning the coronavirus.
Yes. What's your name?
I am Purpose Fellow.
Purpose. All right.
Purpose Fellow.
Okay.
Okay. Now, we should not put blame to any leader whether Buhari or governor, because I'm
What's happening to the phone lines this morning? Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning to you.
My name is Son. I'm calling you from Bende Umaya.
You're welcome. The land of food.
I think my major problem with this country is that we have leaders who don't look at the needs of the masses.
Okay.
Now let me explain in a clear term. What are the responsibilities of this representative we have in the National Assembly? I think this is the proper time for them to come to the constituency and distribute materials that will help us prevent the spread of coronavirus. Now, if you go to supermarket, you see that hand sanitizers have added money and all that. I think this is where we now need these people to come and start distributing this thing to the poor masses at the villages. Because there are people who can't even afford these things. But they are done in the assembly, reading English and reading papers here and there every time. I get it. And to me, just as you say, I'm prepared for the Harmattan season because I'm in Nigeria. We are used to this hardship.
All right.
It's just the truth. And I want to urge every Nigerian at least to take precaution measures. The issue of stopping buses from carrying 18-seater is not even the best solution to stopping this spread of coronavirus. If you ask me, because it is equally the poor masses that drive this bus, and it's equally the poor masses that suffer these things, and not even the government. That is just the truth. We should tell ourselves the truth. So government should do the needful. That's just my own point of view and my own contribution.
Thank
to this
you
program.
very much for your contribution this morning. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. Good night, Eric from Mode.
You're welcome, Ugonna.
Thank you. First of all, these two or few cases that have been treated and discharged, government should emphasize on that. Drugs or whatever with which they were treated.
Okay.
So they are made public and known so that people can get encouragement that this thing is not a death sentence. That there are people who have fallen to it and they have been discharged and they are okay. That is number one. Number two, if we had a good statistics in this country, now that US is distributing money and Nigeria would have been able to say, okay, we have maybe 2 or 5 million families, let's distribute rice or milk or cash. But even if there is the will to do that now, you see, it is almost impossible for us to be able to distribute anything as relief or whatever support. Assuming we'll get to a very worst scenario where they say, okay, nobody should go out, but government wants to distribute money through banks or whatever. How do we even know? How can we assess this thing? That would be near important. Now, again, government too does not even have a ban. A storehouse where they can say, okay, we'll be able to sustain this country in the case of famine or food scarcity or whatever for the next how many weeks or months. So it's like our case is very, very bad though. But we're only hoping that by God's grace we'll be able to support ourselves and cure will be found and then we'll get back to our normal lifestyle again. So please, and again, the testing centers are few. Let them get the testing centers. And all the predictions by the economists, accountants, and management experts, I hope it will just be more of theory, not reality, because although here we know people are already used to suffering through 001 or 010. So I don't know which other suffering will be worse than that. That means that people will just be dying just in this minute, but I God forbid. So let certain things be put in place to increase hope, include knowledge, awareness, and escape routes, more than painting the gloomy pictures so that people don't just die of fear and panic before the real thing comes here. Okay. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Marcelin.
Good morning, welcome.
This COVID-19 is not a mere joke.
You didn't mention your name.
I'm sorry.
All right, welcome. You're welcome.
It's not a mere joke. It's something that it has come. I believe sure people are doubting because of the kind of secrecy they get those who tested positive as an issue. And now that articles have made it known, we're all asunder that even his son is suffering from tested positive to coronavirus. Then we have to be very serious because I don't think he will go that far to joke with it or play with it. But my it's all about the readiness of the government and power, whether in the state or the federal level, be able to combat this thing headlong. Because I had a kind of interview with my sister, who is a medical practitioner, one of the primary health care centers in Bende, local government. And I discovered that to my amendment that nothing like medical facilities or society to protect themselves, or it's for police to discover those who have the virus is in place. Like in Adiamat, I don't know whether we have such medical facilities to detect those who have the virus. And at the contact, people are basically going to Lagos, coming back where you have the case of virus increasing day by day. You know, and I don't know how efforts we are going to make at this point in time to either to tell people or not to travel that far.
All right, let's wrap up things here.
That's the case of coronavirus rampant in Lagos. So, and then we have a transport system that is not organized, also again jam-packed in such a way that they see people touching the contact here and there, and they know the virus the way it acts, contagious. So what I'm trying to say at this point is that if the government can go kind of giving a kind of order.
All right, your time is up, please.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello, good morning to you. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning to you.
Yes,
we can barely hear you. Let's get more reactions. 0808-182-6949. 0811-605-2949. You can also drop messages on 0906-510-8289. The platform right here on Flow 94.9 FM. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Michael.
You're welcome. Coach Joy.
Thank you for having me this morning.
All right.
This COVID-19, that is coronavirus.
Yes.
It's really scary. It's scary, Michael. It's really scary. It's only God that will help us to kill this virus so that we'll be free from it.
Amen.
And yes, and the way one, which is the most important way to cure this coronavirus, is for humanity to be at peace with each other. No rancor, no acrimony in the whole world. If you have your neighbor you are quarreling with, try to make peace. Make peace in your home, make peace in your local government, make peace in your state, make peace in the whole universe. It will cure this coronavirus quickly, and try to keep a clean environment. Michael, you see, this Qatar government, they gave their people in preparation for it. It's not just a Nigerian government telling us close school, close this, even our state here. They prepare people to go towards that thing. You understand? Because for people to stay at home, it's not an easy, it's not a tight play. You understand? So let them try to prepare people. If federal government should pay salaries, Qatar paid 3 months ahead to tell their people so that their people will go and stay inside for a period of time. You understand? And if you watch, what about the market? You know, that's why they say, if you watch what people are reading out, 35 now. Every day it's increasing. What about the ones you people don't know? The ones they don't know about it. So it's really scary. And this ticket they're packing people 3 or 4. I don't know. I'm just scared. But I know that one with God is majority.
Thank you very much, Coach Joy. I will be wrapping up things here this morning with some basic protective measures against the coronavirus, but not without taking your calls. Moderator, please, for the safety of Abians, Okezé Pazo should be quarantined for coronavirus as he has just returned from Australia. Comrade Oko from Umahia. All right, Comrade Mike, the Nigerian government should ensure the isolation centers is in all local governments because the virus is fast spreading. Honorable Good from Isiama Afara. God help us to tackle Ebola. Perhaps we underrated COVID-19 and it is taking a big toll on the country, especially Lagos. More actions, please, Ugonna. All right, some of the precautionary measures regularly and thoroughly clean your hands with an alcohol-based hand rub, sanitizer, or you wash them with soap and water. If you come down to Flow FM, just by the entrance, it is very important. I mean, it is compulsory rather for you to wash your hands with soap and water provided by the management, and also the use of alcohol-based sanitizer. And it is also very important that you maintain social distancing, maintain at least 1 meter distance between yourself and anyone who is coughing or sneezing. When someone coughs or sneezes, they spray small liquid droplets from their nose or mouth, which may contain virus. So if you're too close, you can breathe in those droplets, including COVID-19 virus, if the person coughing has the disease. And it is also important that you avoid touching your eyes, your nose, your mouth. Hand touch many surfaces and can pick up viruses. And once contaminated, hands can transfer the virus into your eyes, into your nose, or your mouth, and from there the virus can enter your body and can make you sick. So that is also important. Make sure you and the people around you follow good respiratory hygiene, which means that covering your mouth and nose with your bent elbow, like you're dabbing, or tissue when you cough or sneeze, and then dispose that tissue, the used tissue, immediately. Droplets spread virus. By following good respiratory hygiene, you protect the people around you from viruses such as cold, such as flu, and COVID-19. If you have fever, cough, and difficulty breathing, you need to seek medical care early. That's just the little I can dish out. I'm sure our OAPs here will definitely do more of sensitization on the radio on Flow 94.9 FM. Thank you very much for being part of the program this morning. Don't forget, like I said, okay, we have a breaking news now. Nigeria has recorded the first case of death to the COVID-19 pandemic. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control announced this morning through the verified Twitter handle of the Nigeria Center for Disease Control. According to NCDC, the case was a 67-year-old male who returned home following medical treatment in the UK. He had underlying medical conditions, multiple myeloma and diabetes, and was undergoing chemotherapy. So the first death recorded due to the pandemic, has just been confirmed now. So God help us, and I'm sure we need to stay safe, maintain social distancing, like I mentioned, and some other basic protective measures. Join me later on Wednesday when we bring up another issue as it affected their nation, Nigeria, and also as it affected their state, Abia State, right here on the platform on Flow 94.9 FM. My producer is Samson Eze. My name is Michael Oni. This episode of the program, you can catch it live on our YouTube page, Flow FM TV. Do enjoy the rest of your day.